Rafa Nadal will be in this year's 2024 French Open, but he will not be seeded. What's up, everybody? It's John Eric Polai here to go over the entry list and the seeds from this year's 2024 French Open that have just been announced recently. In this video, we're going to look at the men's side of things. Before we talk about Rafa Nadal like we did in the intro, I just want to get through a few business first. I want to actually start with the top 8 players in this year's tournament. I had this list up on your screen. This is right from the French Open's website. And as you guys take a look at all those names there, I just wondered, do you guys have the same reaction that I had to that? And it is, damn it, that is murderer's row right there. I mean, talk about a great top 8 players in this year's tournament. 8 players that could definitely hold up this trophy, that is for sure. Let's start talking about Novak Djokovic here first today, and I'll be quickly through this here, guys. Novak's definitely looked better than he did a few months ago when we saw him at Indian Wells. He had a pretty good showing at Monte Carlo, making the semifinals there. He just won this tournament last year, so we'll see if Novak has some more magic left in him here for this year's French Open. Also, Jannik Sinner. Let's talk about him briefly here. Best player of 2024 so far. I don't think that's debatable at all. And let's not forget, he's made a quarterfinals here at the French Open. So let's not just write him off anytime soon here for this tournament. Now, the third seed, Carlos Alcaraz. I actually felt like coming into this tournament, he's going to be the favorite for it. I know he's a little banged up, some injuries and whatnot. We'll see how he heals up. There's still a little bit of time before we step onto the clay courts at Roland Garros. So if he's healed up and healthy, definitely going to be one of the favorites, if not the favorite for this year. Then outside of that, you have guys like Zverev, who is a 2-time semifinalist at the French Open. Then you have Casper Ruud, a 2-time finalist at the French Open. Just played for the finals there at Monte Carlo as well. Then you also have Stefanos Tsitsipas. He's made the finals at the French Open. Really should have taken home the title that year. And now he just won the Monte Carlo championship, playing very well. Some confidence brewing on the side of Stefanos Tsitsipas. All right, so now that we got to the top 8, one more quick thing before we get into Rafa Nadal. I want to go over the next 8. Out of this list, I don't know if any of these guys are going to be able to make a deep run, but if there's 2 guys that are going to do it out of this list, it's going to be Holger Rune and Grigor Dimitrov, especially Rune. Got out to a rough start here in 2024, but playing a little bit better now. He's playing on clay, probably his best surface, so watch out for one of those 2 guys to come out of that side there. All right, now, Rafa Nadal. He was given an entry, as he should. Doesn't have a number next to his name, but in all honesty, that's okay. If there's a guy that could win this tournament and not be seeded, it is Rafa Nadal. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he's won this 14 times. He is a great, great competitor. We all know that. And he's playing on his best surface. The big thing for him, can he stay healthy? That's been a question mark. He's starting to play a little bit now. We're seeing him in some action. Hopefully his body's able to hold up and he's able to keep building and getting better, because if he can make a deep run in this tournament, it's going to be a great thing. But in all honesty, is his body going to hold up enough? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. The other question, is he actually going to be able to put together a run here? I don't know. I am not confident with saying that Rafa Nadal is going to be your champion this year, but of course we're going to have the answers to all of that here sometime soon. All right, so now just one more thing that we have left, really, as what would be big news before this year's French Open, and that's going to be the draws for this year's tournament. We're not going to have that for a little bit yet, so we'll see who has a good matchup, who has a bad matchup. We'll have more coverage of that as we get closer to the French Open. But all I'm going to say just early on here is, can you imagine if you're one of the higher seeds and you get matched up with Rafa Nadal right out of the gate? God bless you. I would not want to be in that scenario if you're one of the higher seeds in this year's tournament. So we'll have more coverage of the French Open as we get closer to it. And then, of course, as the event is going on, just remind everybody that this year's French Open will start on May 20th, and it's going to run through June 9th.